To check those fries.
And the sauce is going to serve two functions for us here. Not only is it going to add all that flavor and moisture and all that, it's going to kind of act as a little bit of a glue for us. So in a second, when we have to stick our lettuce and onions to it, it has something to hold it in place. So the next thing is going to be my lettuce. And we got nice big square leaves here. I'm going to kind of use a couple of them. I like my lettuce to stick out the side of the bun. I just think it looks cool. It looks like one of those burgers like from that always looks so perfect that you say to yourself, when I order it, it never looks that good. All right, so we got our lettuce. We're going to put our nice thin sliced onions on there. Go about 3 or 4 if they're big. A couple more if they're small. Got a couple of nice small ones here. Make sure, just a little onion in every bite. We're going to kind of evenly distribute it around the lettuce. Make sure that every bite you get a little bit of that crunch, a little bit of that sweetness, a little bit of that onionness. Okay, again, right before service, that last piece I'm not going to use for this, but I wouldn't throw this out for sure. I can save that and, making right here with the stuff that's in front of me, I can make some salsa, or I could use it for tomato sauce or anything like that.
That looks really good.
I'm going to do a nice thick slice. Much thicker than you get from that machine that cuts them for you, and I'm going to do 2 of them. Again, this is like a serving of vegetables right here on your burger.
Absolutely.
And again, I like my tomato to stick a little bit out the side of the bun so you can see it. I think it looks cool.
This is the artiste in Bill. I would put it on the bun and not kind of worry about where it goes. But
okay, 2 nice big thick slices. And if you look at the cutting board, you can already see this is the water that came out of this tomato. Can you imagine if I cut this 4 hours ago?
It would be swimming.
Yeah, it wouldn't make a great product. Now we're going to put the burgers on top of that.
Okay.
As gently as I can. Wow, that burger looks kind of small on that bun. All right, beautiful.
Our fries are still cooking away.
Okay, fries should be ready in about
a
couple more minutes, maybe 3-5 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, good. So I'm going to just get my pan over to my sink. And I'm going to get my top on this. I would maybe even, because this burger is just so gorgeous, I would maybe put, after I might cut it and put 2 toothpicks in it or something like that. But
I thought that would be
I just think it looks
plus.
great like this. And then in just a minute, we'll grab the French fries.
I thought they would fit on one plate. Guess not.
What? Not this burger.
What? Well, it's just the toothpicks would be just for show if we were.
Well, it kind of hold it together too, because you got a lot of stacks of stuff.
You got a lot
here.
of things going on there.
Yeah, if I think when I go to bite this, it's going to be a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, you've been there.
Not that doesn't happen at a restaurant too.
With guests and sitting there and biting into the burger and it slips out the backside.
And I got to say, for me, some part of the fun of eating that burger is that. Like, I like that it's kind of sloppy and it's
okay.
It's fun. I mean, like afterwards, I'm licking the sauce off my fingers.
You're licking the sauce off your fingers, but this would be an easier way.
And if I'm serving this to my guests, I want it to be nice and pretty. And I took all this time to make the burger look a certain way. So yeah, I'd probably cut this down the middle, put a toothpick here, and then you could eat it in 2 halves, like a little more
refined.
Refined. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay.
It's not always easy to travel across town to get to the supermarket, and sometimes we don't have time, so we order fast food just because it's fast. Well, what if I told you there was a neighborhood market just around the corner with healthy, inexpensive food to make your family a great meal? Let's go look. A quick trip to your healthy neighborhood market means you still have time to cook your family an affordable, healthy meal. They have fresh produce, canned vegetables, frozen vegetables, whole grain cereals and breads, and even low-fat dairy items like milk, yogurts, and cheese. Everything I need to make a great meal. When it comes to dinner, being short on time doesn't mean being short on options. Visit your healthy neighborhood market today.
So we had our main course, our fast food burger. Thank you. And now we're going to be doing our version of the apple pie. Now I know that when I was a kid, my favorite thing was that apple pie, that deep fried, super nuclear hot.
Oh, it's a fast food place. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we're going to do an apple crisp.
Right.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be healthy. It's going to have a lot more flavor to it, and it's not going to be a deep fried pocket of apple.
You can get really good apples this time of year,
So
too.
first, we got Granny Smith apples, which I love. They got a little bit of sourness to them, a little bit of bite, which I like, and they're great for baking. They don't dry out so much. I'm going to core them first, and then I'm going to peel them. Oops. You'd think I'd get better at using this thing after all this time.
You would.
I guess not.
Then again, I just use my knife and go around the center, so.
Okay. Now I'm going to peel the apple. You could leave the peel on. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Give you a little more fiber.
We did the baked apples in
Yeah.
one show, so you remember that. That was almost the same thing. We're going to just give it a little different flavor, a little different texture, but
Yeah,
you certainly could live the
I'm trying to just kind of simulate like the what you're used to,
Experience,
yeah. And what we're going to do after we peel these is we're going to slice them really, really small. And that's just to facilitate them cooking faster.
Again, cooking time.
If
Yep.
you're not in a hurry and you like nice big chunks of apple in your apple pie, that's cool. You can cut them a lot bigger than I do, but we're going to cut them into a real small dice, and then we're going to cover them with some spices, and we're going to bake them in the oven with what's called a streusel topping. Really, really
Love it.
simple to make. And you can cook them in anything you like, but I brought in little onion soup containers because I think they look cool, and when you serve them with the when you pop open the little lid, I think it looks nice.
they're like a surprise inside.
Yeah, well, you get that little burst of steam that smells like cinnamon and apples and brown sugar and everything all
I
at once.
can't wait, Bill.
All right, so this is kind of a neat little fold. This is kind of what we think of as a throwaway. This is our bread basket fold. When you look inside the bread, we got this neat little sort of package for it, and it's simple. Okay, so we fold it in half and then half, so in fourths, I guess you would say, twice. I'm going to kind of stretch this one back a tiny bit. Then very gently flip it over, fold it in thirds, and put it into your basket. Oops. And there you go. Then you open it up, you put your bread inside there, and close it back up, and it's sort of a neat little way of serving bread. It's got its own little sort of personalized wrapper, napkin. All right, so my apples are all peeled, and now I'm going to cut them into really small pieces. First, I cut them into planks, a lot like we did with the French fries. And then I'm going to do the same thing, no more than 2 at a time. Stack them up, and I'm going to go, but instead of like the fries, like I just went like this, I'm going to go in both directions. So after I cut these small this way, this cut is technically called a brunoise. It's a small dice, usually about 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. Doesn't have to be precise. We want small apples so they cook quick. We're going to maintain a little bit of our crunchy texture, but really get that nice soft apple pie feel to it pretty quick. All right, so all of our apples are diced. Now, if you weren't going to use these right away, what you would want to do is put, just like we did with the potatoes, we said if we weren't going to use them right away, we'd put them under water. We'd put these apples in a little water with a little bit of lemon juice.
Yep.
And the lemon juice will prevent it turning brown, the oxidation that happens in the apples.
And you can do that for snacks for your kids. If you want to cut up some apples so they have snacks in the refrigerator, you can just put a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of orange juice on it, and
Sure.
it'll keep them from browning.
Anything with a little bit of acid to it.
Right.
So orange juice is great.
Right.
Okay, so we have all of our apples in a bowl. We're going to mix them with a couple of our favorite things here. Some cinnamon.
Perfect.
Perfect, always, typical apple pie. Apples, cinnamon, sugar.
I think it twists. Okay.
One day, I was almost outsmarted by this. Tiny little bit of sugar, not much. I'm going to use a little bit of brown sugar. And a tiny little bit of butter.
Apple crisp is just about my favorite fall dessert.
And then a little bit of flour, and that's going to absorb up the butter, believe it or not. Okay? I'm going to toss this all around. Oh, a tiny little pinch of salt, too.
Salt.
Yep, and salt just kind of brings out the other flavors a little bit. It's not much, and you notice that in baking a lot, like a cake. That's great. There's just always a little bit of salt there.
Yep.
Now, these are going to go into our little French onion soup containers. And before we use this, we melted a tiny bit of butter in there.
Tiny bit of
Probably
butter.
half a teaspoon, maybe less.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to dump my mixture in there of my apple pie filling. And if you like regular apple pie, this is fine for your apple pie filling too. But we're going to do a crisp, which is a little healthier. No, the pie crust has a lot of shortening, a lot of fat in it normally. And
So
then
we're doing away with the crust, and
you take that fast food one that's deep fried. It's got that fatty crust.
Actually, it can burn you when you bite into it.
That's warning.
And so this
Contents are hot.
It's going to have some oatmeal on top, and again, you're controlling your ingredients.
All right, let me just wash my hands real quick.
And even though we did a little bit of butter, a little bit of sugar, it's for flavor. So we haven't doused the apple crisp in these things. And overriding is the amount of nutrients you're going to get out of this dessert. So you're getting the enjoyment plus the nutrients. Now what are you doing?
I'm going to mix up my streusel topping.
Ah.
My topping is going on top of my apple crisp. And that is going to be oatmeal. A little bit more flour, not much. Brown sugar. Once again, cinnamon and regular sugar and salt.
Did you put the cinnamon behind
I
it?
probably did.
Oh, it's over here.
Cinnamon and sugar. And if you wouldn't mind grabbing me another pinch of salt.
Pinch of salt.
And once again, we talk about the flavor profile. It's kind of the same thing. The flavors here are going to be the same. The addition is a little bit more texture from the oatmeal, and a little more fat from the butter, because we're going to put a little more butter in there. And then we're going to mix that up.
Do peppers have calories? Like, can you put as much pepper as you want?
Pepper has, I
No
guess,
calories.
black pepper has calories, but very, very little bit.
No, it doesn't have any
0
calories.
calories.
Any herbs, flavorings like that don't have calories. The only thing you have to be careful of is pre-prepared flavorings like, well, like we did our taco seasoning. We controlled the amount of salt in there. Same thing, salt is the only thing that has sodium in it, which you may have to control a little bit in your diet. Other than that, flavoring, punching up things with herbs like
Add a little
pepper
more
and
oatmeal to that.
oregano and cinnamon, they just give things flavor. There's no added calories to that at all.
One thing we might want to note on this is we're using like instant oatmeal, which it's not going to be as crunchy, and I think that's better for a dish like this. Like for regular oatmeal at your house,
It's going to cook a little quicker too.
it's going to cook faster, and I like real oatmeal for breakfast, but in my desserts,
Agreed.
this is perfect.
Yep.
This like really serves the function well. It cooks quicker, it's softer, and it adds the texture, and it also absorbs up all that nice butter and sugar and stuff.
Right.
Good. All right. Now we're going to put this is called a streusel topping. We're going to put our streusel topping on top of our apples. And then we can bake these in the oven.
350 again?
Yep, then there's a couple of different ways you could do it. If you had some time, I would just bake these in the oven covered, just like that.
Cute.
Probably like a little half hour or so. If you don't have as much time, I would do that at a lower temperature. I'm sorry, at like 325.
Oh, if you're covering it?
Yeah, if like us, we're busy people, we have
busy
families
people.
to feed, and we want to get this together, we do it uncovered
Okay.
until the center's hot, and then right before we serve it, I would probably put this underneath a broiler, so the top gets really crisp. It's an apple crisp, so the top is supposed to have a little bit of texture to it. And that's it. We'll be taking that out in about 15 minutes. We're going to clean up our stations, and then we'll sit down and eat.
Bill,
All right.
these look great.
Thank you. So
Can't wait to dig in.
this is, one of my secret guilty pleasures is all that gross fast food that I know I shouldn't be eating, and this is a great alternative to it. I mean, if you like fast food, I think that you're going to be much happier with this than one of those burgers that I can't say the name of.
And all the things we've talked about in the last several shows are in these burgers and this dessert. We have grains, we have fruits, we have vegetables, we have our own sauces, we have dairy with the cheese. Everything's in these, and we chose the ingredients, so they're the best they can be.
And they're as fresh as they can be, and everything just looks fantastic. This is such a cool place to do this in, and I just like it here. They provide us a great place to work and shoot here at Dartmouth Building Supply, and
so we want to thank them a lot.
They've just been so wonderful to us. I just want to say thanks. And if you want to get in touch with us, if you have any
Our
questions, our email address is lookwhoscooking@fredtv.us.
Send us your comments. We'd love to hear them.
Absolutely. And I think
Let's go.
let's eat. Yeah.
See you later.
All right. Bye. The winner of this week's food basket is Sylvia Rose. Woo! Balloons and streamers and stuff, right? Wow. Sylvia, you can contact Julie Kelly at this number right there to arrange a time to pick up your basket at Fall River City Hall. Also, to our viewers, Look Who's Cooking recipes are available online by visiting www.fredtv.us. and they're also available at the Stop and Shop on Rodman Street in Fall River. We thank you for watching Season 1 of Look Who's Cooking, and although the contest is over, we encourage you to keep writing in. We always look forward to and appreciate your feedback. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon.